Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. I am your humble host, Mr. David Null, also known as Hawkeye Two Feathers, and I greet you with the love and the honor of the infinite Creator. And I continue to pray that each and every day, each and every one of you will accept and receive the healings, the blessing, the knowledge, and the wisdom from the universe. Now, with that little introduction and prayer always. I haven't done an Earth Wobble update in a while because it's been a little cloudy. And every time I want to go out there and take a look at stuff, I can't see Orion or Pleiades or any of the, excuse me, many of the a- astronomical sites in the sky to be able to check up on. And I have been keeping an eye on and Miss Breaking Dawn also. And also, we had a really bright visitor this evening. Our little UFO friend. I did a video back a year ago, this last Christmas year ago, where I chased this thing down into Florida on Christmas Eve. Anyway, we've got this new little telescopy thingy and found it off in the distance in the trees, and man, it's just shining all these lights and stuff. And Breaking Dawn got out a camera and actually got a pretty damn good shot of it. She's going to upload the video later. Takes so long to upload a video, but anyway, and then I'm going to mirror it to this channel. There won't be any dialogue, but you'll be able to. Um, we'll figure out how to edit it, but at least you'll be able to see what we've been seeing. I've been watching for the last 2 or 3 years, and I think Breaking Dawn's been seeing it down there when she was down in Florida. Now we're both seeing it from this location. But there's been some very interesting things going on with the Earth wobble. And both of us have had some, insight, if you will, as to where volcanoes are going to go off and earthquakes and so forth. And unfortunately, we've been kind of correct. Like, we'll both get this little feeling to keep an eye out over here. And, within a week or so, something happens, usually 85% of the time. And, it's not necessarily anything to portend any kind of fear or anything like that. No, that's not about that. And I will briefly state that I'm a round earther, not a flat earther. So we have to just start with that. But as I've stated before, and as the history of Mother Earth has proved, the Earth is expanding. Okay, we've got all these extra energies, and the Schumann resonance has been bouncing. But there are some people out there who are trying to, I don't know, use the Schumann as some kind of, oh, we're all in ascension. If that were true, hey, Millie Cow, if that were true, I don't know. I have to go through my archives. Every day I take at least one screenshot of the Schumann resonance. And right now, if you go out there and look at it, it's got some little curves all down towards the bottom. It is funky today. But there was a channel that, and I'm, me, I don't like to mention names, but there was a channel and it seemed like it started to echo a little bit about this, about how the Schumann was just off the charts. My friends, it was off the charts months ago. For days in a row, it was off the charts. I mean, off the charts. So there are some folks out there who are trying to use the Schumann, and obviously they haven't been paying the attention that I've been doing for the last 2 years. I have screenshots every day of what it looks like. And so it's like I go back through and look and I go, no, this it's a little funky right now, but this is not out of the ordinary right now. There are people who go, oh, but it's the Schumann. Nuh-uh. And I'll have to go back and look through my through the pictures. I'll have to do a slideshow and find out where it was really bad and give you the date. But trust me, it was months ago. And Miss Deb and I both said, wow, look at this. I might have even reported about it in one of my videos. But to the point, though, there are other folks out there who it seems to me they've just discovered the Schumann resonance, and that all of a sudden they're like, whoa, look, it's all about ascension. Look at the Schumann. I have to be the grown up in the room, you know me, and just call them on it and go, not quite. If you think this is bad, you should have seen it months ago. Calm down, folks. So we have to look at these things in the long term. Ooh, it spiked today. You should have seen it be, okay, I'll get off that kick. But with that said, though, there's been some really sneaky stuff. Now, there was somebody made a video or something. I saw it, and they were like, "Ooh, the Schumann has almost doubled." The Schumann still is 7.8. It's that we have all these extra frequencies that are showing up on the Schumann chart. Okay, the natural Earth's vibration hasn't changed, except that we are now picking up what to me it's like 8 and then 16, and it's almost like 8 and 8 and 8. It's in a figure of 8. So when you look at it about somewhere about 15 or 16, sometimes there'll be a line across it in the background. I call it background noise, and then that's my term. And then at 24, there's a line. 25, there's a line in the background, and it'll be a little darker, but it'll go all the way across, and it's not always there. And then again, down around 32, but down around 34, 36, and I think it goes down to 40 or something, or 42, something like that. But off the charts, if it goes off the charts, then it's got to be up in the 50 range. But anyway, what's been interesting is there's been these subtext, these little lines at the 8, the 20, well, 8 is the frequency, but at 16 and 24 and 32 and multiples of 8. So roughly, okay, this background noise. And sometimes it absolutely goes sideways. It's really strange when you keep an eye on it. It's almost like Mother Earth is receiving a code. Now, that's how we perceive it. Just our point of view. Nobody else is making this claim. But the way it shows up at these odd times is like, Now, I want to absolutely say that I think that the Schumann resonance is definitely having an effect on you and me. Let me make that perfectly clear. Yes, the Schumann resonance is affecting us all. But I also want to throw this little caveat in there. There are some people who may say that we as a collective could actually affect the Schumann resonance. Let me just back that boat up. The amount of percent that we as the humans, if everybody on this planet stopped and thought about it, would be maybe 1%, maybe, because there's so much mass on planet Earth. And the Schumann resonance is Mother Earth's vibrational change from the cosmic energy that's coming in that we're going through, all the magnetism. We're hauling tail through the solar system. We are not stagnant. We are not still. Okay. As the solar system spins, the galaxy spinning, we are in constant motion. We haven't been in the same spot forever because we're always moving. As the planet spins and the solar system turns, we are never in the same spot ever. Think about that. Which also means we're going into new territory all the time, and we don't know what's in the water. And if you've ever been in a boat and you're going along and everything looks really nice, and all of a sudden something hits your boat, and it's a log that's about this far under the water, smack. I know about this because when I was on the river and almost drowned, a submerged log hit my kayak and helped tump me over. And so I know about it. Looked perfectly fine to me. And then pooch, boom, and the next thing you know, you're in the water drowning. Well, anyway, we're flying through the cosmos. Okay. And so people think, well, we're just here on the planet and nothing else is happening. Nah. You got to step back and look at the really, really big picture. We're never in the same place twice. Never. And if somebody says, well, even the flat earthers, if you stop and think about it, you're not ever in the same spot either. Just saying. But in in cosmology, and I was outside looking through the telescope tonight, looking at Orion, looking at the Horsehead Nebula and the other nebula. I had no idea how many nebula were in the Orion system. Oh, holy cow, there's a bunch of them. M42, M43, the Orion Nebula, and also the Horsehead Nebula. And I mean, within just a little bit of movement with your telescope or field binoculars or something, you can see these things. And so I've been observing these things for years. And ever since I was a Cub Scout, I'm 67. And so people say, well, how do you know? I've been watching it. I go out in my yard and I watch it. Now, I don't have anything at the moment to take any kind of pictures or anything, but my observations, and so by observation, I can tell you the planet's still wobbling. And why? Well, Breaking Dawn and I were standing here earlier as the sun was going down. I said, I need to check and do my daily thingy, looking for Orion. And I've been looking out this window and could see it. Tonight, not true. I had to literally lean into the window and look up. So what that means to me, and we've both had the same feeling, that the planet, if Orion rises overhead, that means the planet has rolled to the south. It has wobbled south, okay? And with it also, which is a little strange, I've been noticing, I haven't reported lately, but I've kept up my observations. Every full moon, I keep an eye on how is the moon overhead or is the full moon in the south, okay? And normally it's been going through about a 28 to 32 day cycle. But what was interesting tonight being outside was that the moon seemed a little higher in the sky, meaning it would be more to where the full moon has been, which is like right overhead. And I'm like, wow, that's kind of interesting. Zoomed in on the telescope with the telescope thing, um, and it's the best time to view the moon is when it's about half full, like right now. So if you've got any kind of clear weather in the next 2 days, especially since it's cool outside, you'll get a really good shot at the moon. And look down along the shadow of the moon, and you can see craters. You can see all kinds of stuff. Okay, with just a decent pair of binoculars. But anyway, but as far as deep space sky watching, Orion is back up overhead, getting close. I'll be watching it these next couple days, and but also to the point now that I remember where all those. I used to watch M42. I took astronomy when I was in college, and my project was M42, M43, and I forgot it was in Orion. But I've been bashed in the head a few times. But anyway, so what has this got to do with the Schumann? The Schumann's picking up energies from all over the place, from different areas of the universe. We're not just getting it from one direction. Now, I'm all for let's give Mother Earth our energy. I'm all for it 100%. But if you think that all 7.5 billion of us would have to stop and to honestly change the Schumann resonance because of the mass. I'm not saying it can't be done. We'd all have to stop what we're doing and do it at the same time, is my point. Now, can we affect changes in things with our energies? You know me, absolutely, we can. And we should continue our work. But let's just back up this bus a little bit where some of these folks are wanting to make certain claims about, well, yeah, you and me, we're going to meditate together and we're going to affect the Schumann. No. But can we help affect the consciousness of other people? Absolutely. Can we have an effect with the consciousness of the planet? And so, yes. But the Schumann, let's just back up that bus just a little bit, okay? I think some people are getting ahead of themselves with some of these things. Yes, we can have an effect. Yes, we have. Hey, Project, how are you? Amy, Jewel, Jewel Letitia, I think, Viv Jones, and Millie Cow. I know I didn't stop because you know me. If I get off track, I'll forget where I was. And all these pages are up here. Blessings to all of you. But anyway, so this is a little bit of my tirade about some of these folks are really trying to push like they found out about the Schumann resonance, and all of a sudden now it makes them I don't know the captain of the football team all of a sudden. Just calm down a little bit, Oh, the Schumann resonance is doing this thing, and now we're all ascending. What about 2 or 3 months ago when it was like really off the charts? Y'all didn't say a word about it then. Just saying. I got to be the grown up in the room. I got to make sure. But yes, it does affect us. Yes, it is here. Yes, it is changing. Yes, it is having an effect on the planet. The planet is expanding. So when people try to scare you into all these things, the planet is expanding. It always has, and it always will as long as it stays a planet. Okay. If you go back to the transpermia thing where there was just this little ball, and even in Native American cultures, they talk about it was just a big an ocean, and I don't know where crow came from, but and they prayed, and turtle came up out of the water and started the land. I don't know where they got the trees and shrubs to go on the turtle, but this is but so they called it Turtle Island. Okay, and that's supposed to have been Mother Earth was one big giant piece. Well, if you ever looked at the back of a turtle, guess what? The turtle is made out of all these little pieces, okay, that are joined together, much like Mother Earth, okay? And turtles, they could, I've found a lot of turtle shells. There's probably one sitting right over here on the other side of on the stairs right there. But anyway, if you've ever looked at a turtle shell, there's all these little plates that are together, much like Mother Earth. So if I was to believe in anything, I would think we were on a turtle first before I would think of a flat Earth. But anyway, so down through a lot of legends and a lot of stories and a lot of stuff, but then Turtle Island expanded and people came and things and stuff and so Turtle Island is still expanding, if you will. The turtle's still growing. Turtles don't quit growing. They may slow down in their growth, but they still, them old sea turtles. I'm telling you, in my back creek back here in my river, I have seen snapping turtles this big around, and had to get them off my trout line, kind of thing. Scared the crap out of me. Huge, monstrous things. 80, 85, 90, over 100 pounds worth of turtle. Think about that. With bit my paddle in half, a wooden paddle. But the thing is that we have to understand the greater picture of things. People want to just like condense it down and we're all going to die again. And I did a video a couple of months ago about the virus of 1918. And now all of a sudden people are wanting to compare this to that. And I'm thinking, you know what? We are so much more prepared now than we were. And I don't necessarily say a lot about Trump, but I think there are some very positive things that he has done, in my opinion, and much more so than any of the other presidents that I've voted for or didn't vote for. He's been more for my liking, and I've been a staunch Democrat all my life. I don't know what I am now, but I'm just going to vote for the person that qualifies and what his certain criteria for me. But anyway, big money's always big money. But to this idea that Mike Bloomberg, and I've been watching, they've been throwing these commercials up about Trump's responsible for the coronavirus thing. He should have done more. Now, I listened to the CDC update myself. I heard it word for word from the lady's mouth. She said, "We've got everything we need. We just don't know how fast it's going to move. We've got all these things prepared." This was a week ago. And she's like, "We got it covered. We're hoping, we're kind of hoping it won't get bad, but we're ready as much as we can. Do you have supplies?" Yes. This was the lady from the CDC. And she's like, "Do you need anything?" "No, the administration has been great. We've got more. We're more and prepared. We've been doing studies and shutdowns, and we've been practicing, and we're ready." And Bloomberg's putting out all this stuff that it's all Trump's fault. And I just got to say, wait a minute. That's just freaking fear porn. And it's not true. And now, having nothing to do with Trump, but if you listen to the CDC lady, they got it as much in control as they possibly can. And I'm like, good for you, folk. Now people quit traveling around and be more careful with their hands and be healthy. That's the best we can do in any of this. But for Bloomberg or anybody else to like, it's all Trump's fault. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I disagree with that heartily, and I got to speak out against it because it ain't got nothing to do with Trump, because the CDC has it under control under his administration. Now, y'all stop that panic crap and shut up. Talk about something, that really matters, but it's all his fault. Oh, stop it. No, it ain't. He's the CEO of the United States. And, there are a lot of other people that have been making this a problem, like spending our good tax money on a worthless, "we're going to impeach you" crap, and they want to do it again. Don't get me started. But back to the Schumann resonance and everything else that's going on. So Mother Earth is expanding. She's cracking along her joints. There are some volcanoes going off, as they always have been. But things seem to be a little active. Now, we were told years ago that we were going to be going through a very active portion of the galaxy, the whole galaxy. And we, as the solar system, are kind of moving up and down in the galaxy. Hi, David Castle. How are you? Project Amy. I think I said hello to everybody. Greetings, everybody. And blessings. Holy crap, we got 1 minute before it's March the 1st. So jump up and down for a minute for the last of February 29th. I forgot to do that earlier. But anyway, with that said, now the Earth wobble thing, it seems to have, from my observations over the last year, it hasn't gotten too wonky. What's interesting, in other words, Orion will go a certain distance. Hey, Michelle. Orion will go south a little ways in the sky, and then Orion will come back up. But and this used to freak me out when I started noticing it, and logging it, But then I calmed down and said, well, let me see. It seems like it's pretty calm. What's interesting is when one day, and I mean in one day, Orion's overhead, and you go out the next day and it's down in the south. Now that's some serious wobble. But as it happens over several days, much like the moon, it seems like it's calmed down in that it's sort of picked up whatever the wobble is. It's happy right now. It's like swinging about 20 degrees over half a month, 14 days. So it's sometimes it's almost a degree or so a day. But like yesterday, it seemed like it was a lot further south. And tonight, boom, it's like 5 degrees further north. Now, I can't exactly tell you it's exactly 5 degrees, but from eyeballing, it's like yesterday I could see it out the window. Tonight I had to go outside. Just saying, and my house don't move, at least not that I know of. It's, like the floor is the ground kind of thing. So, but anyway, but it seems like it is the wobble where before it was really just in 2 days time, it was like south. And then 2 days later, it was way back. I mean, it was like nutso. And I was reporting on it a lot. But in these last few months, in my observation, Now, like I said, we've had some cloud cover, so I can't check this every night lately. But in my overall, it's like it seems like it's kind of calmed down a little bit, you know? So I think that's good. Now, to some other things about Mother Earth and part of this wobble. I got azaleas blooming that were blooming a week ago. I had mulberries that was blooming, a mulberry tree. I've been like nursing. Finally, after all these years, I'm going to get something off this tree. Maybe it froze the other night, and we might have a light frost tonight. Actually, got the old coal stove with wood in it. What did I say? Yeah, and it's burning like man. It's great. Got it warm in here, and with some really good hard oak, split oak. Trust me, if you burn anything but good old hard oak, man, I don't know. Of course, down here I got quite a few trees from the hurricane last year, but anyway, hard oak. Oh man, it burns like coal. But anyway, so with the earth wobble and everything, but spring's too early right now. Killed every damn bud on the tree. The pear tree was blooming, like 2 weeks ago. Like middle of February. So I'm really I'm gonna keep praying, but man, fruit trees down here, well, everywhere need a certain amount of cold days. Excuse me, sorry about that. And many of our fruit trees and brambles, meaning like blackberries, raspberries, and the such, have not had enough cold days to make berries or any kind of fruit like that on any of the trees. So pear trees, plum trees, peach trees down here are going to suffer. And I've already talked with some other people, and they're like, man, what can you do? It's Mother Nature. So now, whether or not that is because we're just having a little bit of an early spring right now, don't know. At least down here in South Georgia. Now, the rain, we got some really good rain. The river went from 8 feet to over 11 feet, pushed almost 11 and a half feet in a matter of 2 days. We had about 3 inches of rain total over about a 4-day period, plus the rain we had last week. So when I went for my little walk this afternoon in the woods, there is water standing in my yard and flowing across it down what I call Dave's Creek, because it empties this little creek. Oh man, I don't know. It's about 2 miles, about 2 square miles, literally about 2 square miles of drainage. And it all comes down this little creek and under the road down here from my house and runs through my property and then joins the Little Ochlockonee River. And right now there's water flooding across down Dave's Creek and across my property. It's great. I love it. And because it used to do that all the time, it would only dry up once in a while. So David Castle, Dominic, Millie Cow, Truth to Me, hey there, hi there, ho there. Yes, cosmic hugs, everybody, all the way around. Thank you all for hanging out. Thank you. But anyway, so in the cosmic realm of things, I went out the other morning, as I'm off to do, just to look at the stars and where is everything. And there was something really big and bright hanging out through the trees over here. I mean, I was close to like freaking out because we've seen this UFO thing tonight. And Miss Deb took some video of it. We're going to try to get it uploaded and etc. We'll see what we can do and share it with you because it's exactly what I've been seeing. And in fact, Dante had some video of one of these things like changing colors and everything. It looks exactly like that. I don't know whose it is, if it's like our side or their side, but the damn thing's right over there. And the other morning it was right over here. And it was huge. I mean, it was like a ball like this big over here in the sky. And I stood out there. It was too cold for me to observe. And I had just woke up to and it was almost like they woke me up to go outside just to look at this great big thing. And there are no stars that big. I mean, I was watching Venus tonight And this thing was 4 times bigger than Venus. It was a lot bigger than Venus. And there's nothing in the morning sky down here at 4:35 in the morning that would ever be that big. Just saying. So, but tonight then there was one, but it looked like there was another one that was coming in. I kept saying there's one coming in from the right, and we were noticing it down through the trees facing south from our location. But man, there was some stuff going on this evening. And when I get done with this video, I'll go back out and periodically check tonight, because some nights it's just really active. And I'll try again with another camera and see if we can't get in a little closer or something. But man, oh man, when she got that video tonight, I was like, that's it. That's what I've been watching. And I haven't been able to get a video of it. And she caught a good glimpse of it. I don't know, a good 30 seconds, maybe even a minute of it. And flashing and moving and all that. Yeah, buddy. So, anyway, where was I headed with that? So the Schumann, back to the Schumann a little bit. So the things that, let me just say, I'm always asking question to my spirit guide. What does this background noise on the Schumann resonance mean? And what I'm picking up from, what it's sort of like a harmonic. Okay. So Mother Earth is being hit by all these energies. And so where her energy is 7.8 ish, around 8, I just think of 8, but round up 0.2. But it's almost like it's a harmonic. Boom. So it's 8, 16, 24, 32 ish. It's not quite the same, but it's similar. So, and in watching it, it's almost like you ring a bell. And so one note might be really low, but if you hold that bell and let it finish ringing all the way down, where every single note is through, there are harmonics in the bells. Every bell has them. Some are more potent, or have a better. Hey, Truth in Me. Did I say hi? Anyway, but so with that said, though, if you listen to the bell finish and listen to the harmonics, Mother Earth is going through a very similar thing, and those harmonics are showing up as, I'm calling it background noise, but it's a really dark blue line. And sometimes it, instead of the Schumann going up and down this way, it'll be like at 24 and go sideways for hours. I mean, not up and down, but sideways in that same frequency. So if some folks would like to say, well, we're going through ascension. Well, I don't know about that, but are we getting bombarded by some cosmic dust? You betcha. And so's Mama Earth. What's going to happen on the other side? If we all don't lose our brains and, and just lose it and take this time to say, well, you know what? There are some interesting energies going on. I'm going to take advantage of them. And maybe if your energy's low, then don't push it. But if you feel kind of like happy dancy, like it's March the 1st now, 10 minutes in. But so we left the 29th, but it's still the 29th Central Time, so we can still dance. You know what I mean? Until the whole day is through. Anyway. But the idea, though, that there are people out there who, I don't know whether it's their ignorance or they just all of a sudden they've had this really bright idea. And I know that when I first started looking at the Schumann and things, I had to back off myself and go, wait a minute, how long have we, meaning me, myself, and I, have we been observing this? Not long enough. So yes, I will do a report on it. Yes, I'll talk about it. Yes, I'll say, go check it. Yes, I still take a picture a screenshot every day of the Schumann, because I'm keeping track of it, and I can go back in and go, whoa, is there a pattern somewhere? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to try to, ever since they changed the YouTube format, I can't share screenshots like I used to. So it's like, I'm still trying to figure that part out. So We'll see what I can do, but I would like to share, some of the pictures in a row. So what I was thinking of is taking the Schumann light for a week and uploading each of the pictures, and and then turning it into a short video with just the pictures, maybe a little commentary with the date underneath. But anyway, so that other folks would be able to say, well, oh, so this is what it's looked like for the last 10 days. Yeah. So when somebody says, well, this is this and that, you go, wait a minute, what about a week ago? Just saying. More of a record, because unless you take a screenshot, their stuff, as far as I know, you have to get in touch with them to get any archives or anything like that. So if you want an archive of it, make it yourself, and then you've got your own record. Just saying. Um, oh, Truth of Me says, I can't wait to play in the dirt. I've been playing in the dirt, actually, and working on drilling a well, making the well deeper, and et cetera, down here in the back. I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do a separate video about that, and discussing water and how to get to it. Because, if you could figure out how to drill your own shallow well, and you didn't tell anybody, but you could get water that was cleaner than the chlorinated stuff that you get out of the earth, wouldn't you like get one of those pitcher pumps kind of deal, they'll pump down to 15 to 20 feet. So if you run out of water and your electricity's off and you got that nasty smelling crap, but if you're in a location to where you could have your own water, not necessarily hooked up to the house, but you could have your own drinking water, you could use it for, but anyway, and in case of the crap happening, but anyway, so I got a 10 foot down in the ground right now in another well that I'm digging. I hand dug the well up on the hill. I mean, it's a 4 foot square hole, 20 feet deep. Okay. And it's actually, the sides caved in, and it's even wider at the bottom. But anyway, discuss about, water and how you can drill it, use a water hose and some very simple techniques to drill your own little well. Now, you may not be able to supply a household, but you could get a couple of gallons a day, easy. And if the water is fresh and clean, then use it for making your tea and for drinking. Everything else and blah blah blah. Yeah, okay, use the water you have, but be nice to have a backup. Anyway, but Mother Earth has lots to give us, and depending on where you live and what your local things. I mean, there are people who have snuck wells in their backyard and just didn't tell anybody, because they didn't put up this great big giant rig. But but water is one of the most precious things right now. Mother Earth has it, and depending on where you live, it's pretty clean. In most places. I mean, you have to be careful about drinking out of the stream. And it's not about that the water is dirty, but if an animal craps upstream and that feces, it doesn't matter what kind of animal, it could be a chipmunk, it could be a squirrel, but if it gets in the water with these little bitty larvae things, you'll get the squirts that you'll never be, you can die from the diarrhea. It's not good. Now, natives are used to it because they've been used to it. So that's why you boil water. You can get swamp water. It's muddy. The mud's not going to kill you. In fact, it might actually give you some minerals, but it's the little bugs that swim around in it. So it's not the dirt that'll kill you. It's what's living in it. So you boil water, to get rid of those bacteria and the little crawly things like amoebas and stuff like that. But anyway, how did I get off on a subject of water? I think it's important. People don't pay enough attention to water. But anyway, I'm going to have some more fresh water. And I was talking about the water in the yard. Thank you, whoever was helping me with that one. But anyway, so I got a pipe down here, and a friend came by and said, look at this. And the water was literally coming out of the hole in the ground. Now, the pipe's almost level with the ground. But the thing is there's no standing water right behind the house. It's gushy. But where I've got the pipe, There's fresh water, literally, was just barely coming out the top. That's because there's so much water pressure in the ground right now. We haven't had that in a long time. So I'm going to take advantage of it. And if you can take advantage of it right now, if you do so, save it, do something, because water is absolutely important to us. As far as the UFO goes, I'm going to go out here and check in a little bit and see if it's out there, and see if I don't know. I got my little camera here, but I've never been able to zoom in to be able to get, and it's got a good zoom on it too, but it just, for some reason, it just won't focus right. Of course, it's been in a kayak with me and dropped in the mud, and it's probably due for an upgrade. But if you think it's bad right now, as far as Mother Earth and everything, she's actually being kind of calm. So, people are always looking for fear porn. There's always going to be an earthquake. There's always going to be a tornado somewhere. There's always going to be a volcano. There's always going to be a something. It's Mother Earth. So, stay out of the panic mode with this. Tomorrow I will march on the way back from the restroom, hence March 2nd. Yeah, there was something there was an old joke about the never mind, can't think of it. Brain dead right now. But I want to get on here tonight and just chit chat with y'all, and sort of give you a little bit of an update. I really wish I could, do the live feed with a telescope or something like that and actually show you my observations. But Orion's looking really good right now. And if you get a chance to go out and look, just look up Orion Nebula, M42, Horsehead Nebula. But Orion Nebula, and just I use DuckDuckGo all the time. I forget all this Google crap and all that. And my searches are fairly simple, and if I want to go deeper, I get there. But anyway, go there and look at and then click on the pictures. There's all kinds of pictures of what Orion looks like and which star is which, where the constellations, where the galaxies are located, like M42 and M43 are both galaxies. And the nebula is star gas, if you will. The cosmos had a Putin, but but there's Horsehead Nebula, and then there's the other nebula in Orion. So it is chock full of stuff in there. I'm telling you, you'd be surprised what a pair of binoculars can do. But anyway, so get a chance if you can when the weather's clear, because once the weather starts warming up here in the next few weeks and month, it won't be as clear, because the atmosphere is going to will be more humid, because warmer atmosphere holds more water, and so your view of the night sky is never going to be as good as it is on a clear, cold night in winter. A cool night. Cold night doesn't matter, but the cooler it is, the better the skies overhead will be. Let's see what else to report on. Yeah, we've got some. The Flint River is up down here in South Georgia. A couple of places it's a foot over flood stage, and that means 36 foot. That's a lot of water. There's not too many places that are like flooded out, but there are a lot of places that have been dry for over 2 years now are finally have water in them again. Some of the streams that have little swampy areas that barely have a trickle, that there's water in the low spots again, and it's holding, instead of just it rains, woo, look, it's wet, and then you can drive by there the next day and go, what happened? No, we've had enough rain to where the water's actually standing. It's been in my backyard now for 3 or 4 days. It was higher, it's still there, and there's enough water in the ground. It's not flowing out because the water is so high in the river. So that's really good for us. It's recharging the ground, so we really need that. I'm going on and on about this water thing, ain't I? I'm just really pleased. I've missed my swamp. I haven't been able to get in my kayak, though, in the backyard and go down to the river yet, but it come close, really close, really close. Maybe next time. But um, uh, I'm going to be doing a video maybe tomorrow to show you that this trailer that I've talked about in an earlier video. And a friend of mine came by and he goes, "You're going to put your kayaks on that, aren't you?" And I was like, "Gotcha. You got it, brother." And he was really impressed with it. And I was like, maybe I should do a little video and give my 10 cents about as a draftsman and as a person, my job as an engineer and as a drawing person, CAD, etc., was to proofread all the drawings to make sure that every detail was correct. There were no missing details or, you know, I did complete assembly drawings of as many as 300 parts in the assembly. Everything had to be checked. All the drawings had to be checked. Everything had to be notified, double checked, triple checked. And I was the last person in line to make sure that it was all done correctly. And even I would make a mistake once in a while. But they had it on the assembly drawing. I was like, "Whoa, man!" So anyway, but I think it's interesting. There may be somebody else out there that might find this, a worthwhile venture for themselves too. But also a tip about trailers and 12 volt and stuff like that. And what I plan to do with the kayaks. And if y'all in the neighborhood, that means I won't have to throw the damn things on the back of my truck. And all I have to do is hook up my trailer and go to the river someplace. Anyway, that's what I'd like to do. And y'all are invited, let me know ahead of time. Right now the river's up. So I'm part of my plan is to go see just how high it is at, now that I know how to check the gauges around here and so forth. But cranium cramp. Thank you, Michelle. I've seen the moon wobble a few times. Yes. Now the moon, that's the other thing. It's been so weird that we haven't been able to, about the time it's full moon, it gets cloudy for 4 days, so it's like, but I can see through the clouds, whether it's overhead or further down in the sky. So I have been able to observe that, but not the moon itself, which is a little disheartening at times, but what can you do, right? David Castle says, "We have a very clear tonight for the first time in about 10 days, but it's going to be 16 degrees. Yeah, it's going to be like 32, 35 here in South Georgia, which it's about normal for this time of year. It's not overly cold. But yeah, I'm going to go back outside and look at the stars a little bit too. I'll put on my bigger jacket and go out there. But yeah, it's really pretty out there tonight. And as it warms up, it's going to be a lot harder to see the sky. So, and there were some other interesting things like when I had the field glass all the way out and was just looking at the background, there was all kinds of streaks and stuff going by it. I was like, woo, that when you can see those micro, and I can't say they were micro meteors going by. There was a couple that I saw that were way out there, and I could tell because of how the focal length and how I had it focused. But man, there's a lot of activity in the sky tonight for whatever reason. But my friends, thank you for hanging out with me. I just wanted to get on here and do this little diddly, but nothing seems to be too wonky. Now, not to say that it won't get out of whack tomorrow, but just remember, before you just take somebody's word that, oh my God, we're all going to die again, and here goes the coronavirus again, and it's all Trump's fault, and it's all this. Be the grown up in the room and go, wait a minute, let me check for myself before I take this campaign wizard. Man, Bloomberg really wants to be president, let me tell you. And from some of the stuff I've looked at, no, I think I'd vote for Bernie before I'd vote for him. And that's sad, for me anyway. Although I tried to vote for Bernie the last time, and that was a big disappointment. And that's the reason I will not vote for him this time. He dropped out last time, gave up. They told him where to go, and he put his tail between his legs and scuttled off with his money left in his war chest. And his job has been for the last 2 years to run for president. So, his job is not in the Senate. His job was to run for president. And if I was from his home state, I'd be a little ticked off about that, quite personally. Like, Bernie, what the hell are you doing? You're running for president. You're not our senator. You're running for president. Stop it already. Do something for our state, for God's sakes. Yappity, yappity, Bernie, 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 Bernie. I'm sorry. I had faith in him the last time. None this time. Nope. Now, would I might choose him over a druther. I'd rather have him than him or her, but nah. Mm-mm. And some of these clowns have showed their butts, let me tell you. And no, I'm sorry, but I would want one of these other clowns that have proven that they're clowns. Sorry, I think I'd rather stay where we're at for another 4 years, because right now things are not as bad as they could be. A lot of people I know have decent jobs. A lot of people I know down here, they got an increase. A lot of people down here are doing fairly well. And so it's like, it's not great. But yes, there's homeless. Yes, there are drug addictions. But I've also seen a turn in the lower class is almost reaching the lower middle class, you know, where it used to be that working at Arby's or something. I love Arby's, by the way, but it used to be $6 an hour, and now it's 10 or 12. That's not too bad of a wage versus what it used to be. So the corporations have stepped up, and it wasn't because of any damn Democrat. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't because of Bernie Sanders. But this idea of providing a living wage, the big guys have got to set an example, and they want us to work for them. Pay us, we'll work, and we'll come in. People are taking more pride. I've seen more pride in their work. There are people that like I frequent certain places a lot. Hey, Dave, hi, Mr. Dave, how you doing? For me, that's like a big deal. They remember who you are, and they're not just doing it to get on your good side. They're glad to see you. Like, hi, how are you, Chuck? Shake hands. Been a while, dude. Okay, how's the wife and kids? And you mean it, But I live down here in the South, and we're sort of like that. But that's why I think that it's if a bunch of redneck Southerners can get along, why we could all get along, But and the South was doing real well until it was them damn Northern carpetbaggers after the Civil War. I'll just throw that in there, Since my paternal father's last name was Lee, and is a very high possibility that I'm related to Robert E. Lee. Kind of look like him a little bit too, with the beard and the profile. Put me on a horse. Give me a sword. But the idea, though, that somebody always seems like they have to be in charge. But when neighborhoods and people just get together and work together, a lot of stuff gets done. So anyway, my little bit of political, commentary here at the end of this. Let's see. I would love to see a video on you canoeing. Moon has been on the bottom lately, like to look like a bowl instead of a crescent. Yep. Right now it's about a half a moon. Yeah, but he got a new house out of it. Talk about Bernie. Yes, he did, didn't he? A new summer thing, and they all got it. They had a new car or something. Yeah. Millie Cow says, I'm feeling very out of whack. Did you get my email back, Millie Cow? I would really like to read what you sent me. I think it's special. I don't have to tell anybody that you wrote it, although I mentioned it here. That was kind of bad, wasn't it? But I would really like to read it. I thought, yeah, I liked it. I really do. Arby's cheese sticks are awesome. I don't know. I haven't tried those. But one thing that I do like are their heroes. Now, most people call them gyros. but they even have them with traditional goat meat. Like, what? Now, I used to eat a lot of chicken until I saw how they raise the chickens and what these chickens look like before they take them to slaughter, how they slaughter them, and I just don't do chicken anymore. But I was at Arby's but last week. I hope we go tomorrow. Ooh, ooh, ooh. But they sliced the beef right there. Could see him do it to make my sandwich, and I was like, that you can't fake slicing a piece of beef. It's not chopped up. It's not something else. It's a slice of beef and put on a sandwich. And I'm like, So, but anyway, that's one reason why I choose Arby's. And yeah, you can go to a place and get a hamburger, but I'd much rather have just the absolute sliced roast beef and see the slices. Know that, oh, but you're eating a cow. Yeah, but you don't know if you're eating a chicken or a duck or a whatever when you're eating some of these little processed. I got chicken nuggets. Do you know how they make them things? You would puke. I haven't eaten one of them little chicken nuggets in years. Anyway, and if you saw how they raise the chickens and what the chickens look like, oh my God, they're Franken chickens. They're creepy. I'm telling you, I had some, and somebody brought me some and put them in the back, and oh my God, they wouldn't move. Two of them starved to death because they refused to go this far to the pan, and yeah, the coyotes got them. Anyway, my friends, let's see, Michelle, I got your email. Yeah, go ahead and read it. Okay, I'm going to do a separate video and not tag it at the end of this one, though. This has been an hour and so forth, but thank you, Millie Cow. I will. And I'll mention your name if you want to. It's up to you. But I think that we as a community, okay, thank you. We as a community, and when somebody writes something that to me, and I don't know, I read poetry out loud. And so if someone sends me something as an actor, and poetry should be read, and there are a lot of people who don't know how to read poetry, let me say, but there is a cadence. And so when I read what you sent me in the email, Millie Cow, I read it with a cadence, and I was like, I got it. I felt it. And so I do want to share it, but later. Did you guys see the big mag? The big mag from 2011. What, Truth in Me? Can you explain? Did you see the big mag? Help! I don't know what you mean by mag. There was a lot of stuff that was going on in 2011 and 12. I was pretty much over medicated from mental health, and 2011. No, I was pretty much off my own. I wasn't doing anything recreational other than like smoke a joint once in a while, but back then it was hard for me to even get any of that. You would like to hear my views on the coronavirus? I think every virus is dangerous. And I've said this before a couple of years ago. My own nephew, strapping boy and 31 years old, got a cough one day. Over the weekend, he got sick. They took him to the hospital and he was dead by Wednesday. Some virus they had never heard of before killed him deader than a door knocker. And he was healthy, he was clean, he drank a beer and smoked a joint, but he wasn't out. He had turned his life around and become a family man, and he got something that killed him dead in 5 days. Oh, but we don't know what it was. We think it was that, blah, 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 So the thing is this coronavirus thing, they're hyping it up. They love to have us in chaos. The more chaos they can create, the more energy they drain from us. Remember that. These folks who do this stuff eat our energy. They love the negative. They love the fear. And we have to stay out of that. We can't give them that. Now, am I keeping an eye on it? Yeah, but I'm taking my vitamins too. Bought another jar of vitamin C. Going to stay healthy. Going to wash my hands. And if I go out in public, going to be careful. No, I'm not going to a stadium with 100,000 people right now. I think that's stupid. Why? Not because of the coronavirus, but because it's flu season. It's flu season. Every flu season. And so I listened to the lady several days ago from the CDC, and I thought she presented her case well. She explained everything in as much detail as we need to know, and the fact that they have things under control. Because if a virus goes, if one person that's sick on a subway in a major city, that's it. Pandemic's on. Okay. And the fact that it hasn't happened that way tells me that any flu, any flu can get you. Okay. I've damn near died from respiratory ailments that had nothing to do with the coronavirus. It was just the flu. I quit taking flu shots after that, too, by the way. But so my point of this is it dangerous? They all are. If you're sick or you're susceptible or your environment or whatever it is and your lungs are easy, then be careful. For God's sakes, be careful. Oh, and if you're doing these puffers and things on a regular basis, and you need to learn how to breathe on your own, because some of the ingredients in those puffers are making you addicted to the puffers. I got one in the refrigerator, and it was one of those moments that Mother Mary came to me and she goes, "You have to stop taking that. It's killing you." And it was a personal message for me. And I've talked about this in the past, but I try not to bring this up. But she was like, "You got to stop that. You have to stop doing that. You've got to get off your meds." And I did. I'm on very few pain meds now, mostly aspirin or ibuprofen. I take my Benadryl because my sinuses, of all the cocaine and crap I stuck up my nose over the years. So, and being hit in the face and having severe trauma done to my sinuses from head injuries, that'll mess you up. So, but herbal tea or coffee, I mean, I'm not on anything anymore like that. And there's so many people that I know who have handbags full of pills. I used to take 20 pills a day. I'm down to 2 ibuprofen every 6 hours, and one Benadryl every 6 hours. That's my meds. There you go. Now, I do have the occasional cannabinoid type dessert, we'll say, that has its own pain relief in and of itself, and local medicinals that I might get my hands or teeth on. Right now, it's early spring, so there's not much out there to go munching on in the woods. But I found some cat briar and a couple other things on my walk today. So Mother Nature, if you know where to look, always provides. It may not be what you think you need, but you'll get, you can gain sustenance. Like for example, that I saw something. It was a John Wayne movie. They were out in the desert and they were tearing cactuses apart for liquids and so forth. And I was like, how many people know that if you lived in anywhere near a grapevine, that you can make a slit in the grapevine and it will literally, you can put a cup under it and it will weep water and it'll be good water. And so if you're down in the swamp and you don't have anything to drink, if you know where to look, you go find you a local grapevine and cut it, and it'll take a little bit to weep. But if you're thirsty and you ain't got nothing, hang around for a few minutes, take a break, and suck on a vine. Don't cut it in half because then that'll kill it. Well, it'll regrow, but you don't have to cut it in half to get the benefits. Just do a little slice around and cut you a little notch, and it'll patch itself over and keep the vine still growing. But anyway, they were destroying the cactus in the John Wayne movie, but it was a movie and blah blah blah. Anyway, but to the point though, so somebody did a video about muscadines that I noticed about how important they were. I got muscadines all over the place. And yeah, you can. damn near everything on them. If you could stand to eat the stem, you wouldn't die from it. It wouldn't make you sick if that was your only thing. But you could shave it up and put it in your thing, and the bark and the thing, not so nutritious, but it would be better than starving or not having anything, is my point. So, and the muscadine leaves, and especially the younger ones, you can make a tea and a poultice with them. And of course the grapes and the thing and the blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so yeah, but if all the things that you could do to prepare, I've said this before and I will absolutely say it again, buy some books with pictures, okay, color preferably. But Peterson's puts out these guides on medicinal plants, birds, rocks, you name it. I got a whole selection of them, and some others as well. Buy you some books and study what's in your region. You need to, you should, and if it, I'm telling you, do it, because we don't know. And there's so many things now that what if you can't get something over the counter? Do you know any home remedies? I do a few. But I've got books, so I don't have to remember them all. Okay. Oh, that's right. You need a titch of this and a tat of that, and yeah, there you go. So it's like people who make tea. I realized that somebody told me a few years back. uh, It could be 20 years now at my age, but about tea, about pine needle tea, it's like, yeah, well, no, you use the green ones, and they said, and for God's sakes, don't boil the water. And I was like, what? Don't boil the water. Well, how you gonna? No, a lot of teas, people are nuts. They boil the water. Never, if you're making a decent tea, should you ever boil the water. You should, if when you see a bubble come up off the bottom of that pan, turn the water off and then steep your tea. If you boil your tea, oh, shame on you. And it makes a big difference. But it also makes a difference in the medicinals and so forth. How did I get on this one? Um, but in bringing the volatiles and the oils and certain things, like, if you've done any research in cannabinoids, you put your stuff in the oven and you bake it at a certain temperature for a while to get it crystalline. And it does make a difference, I got to say. um, you know, kind of significant. And it's not that hard to do, but there is chemistry involved in that. You heat it up and then you bake it, or you do it, or you da da da. But so the same thing is when you're making a tincture or this or that, buy a cheap bottle, well, an inexpensive bottle of gin, okay? Because if you want to make a tincture of something, you take it. Now, some people like vodka, but with certain types of gins, especially if they're made out of the barberry or something, oh, I can't think of it now. It's a berry. It's actually gin is sort of a tonic in itself without over drinking it. But if you soak whatever herb that it is that you're trying to make a tincture, for example, I've got mullein. You take the mullein, crush it up, and stick it in a jar, and with some alcohol, as high a proof as possible. Without, you don't want 151, but there are some of the people in the herbal area that swear that you need over 100 proof to get the volatiles or the oils or whatever it is out of the whatever it is you're trying to make a tincture of. And a tincture is a concentrated dose of something. Okay. So whatever you're doing, and back in the day when we were trying to make hash oil out of really bad Mexican weed, you take denatured alcohol and you soaked it in there in a bowl, a ceramic bowl or something, and then you wash it, and watch all the green come out into the alcohol, and then you swirled the alcohol around until it evaporated and scraped the resin out of the bottom. It's very similar in a lot of other plants that you do the same thing. So if you want the most important out of something, then you can do it through that technique. But to make a tincture of something, you soak whatever it is in there, in a little bottle or something. And then after it's sat in there for a while and the oils come out, then you basically just strain the leaf or whatever plant material may be in the bottle into another bottle. And there's your tincture. Okay. And you learn by experiment, you one or two or three drops, depending, into whatever it is you're making a tincture of. So to use as for your own medicinal purposes. Now, here's the key about this. So if there's, and I didn't really come off the coronavirus, I got onto this because I think it's important. Many people back in the day had these old hometown remedies, but even in the 1917-18 pandemic that killed a third of the population on this planet is what they kind of reckon, and possibly more. 20 to 30% of the population. That's what I did a video on it. And check it out yourself. And now, I don't want this to happen, God forbid. But every so many years, stuff happens. And the only way to survive it is to be as healthy as you can. And then it can still get you. My nephew was very strong, and healthy and all that kind of good stuff. So, but to the point though, we don't know. We absolutely don't know. We take our best chances. But if we're going to live every day to be scared from it, nah. Being scared is going to bring our energy level down, and that will in and of itself make you sick. Just saying. So, and there have been several pandemics over the many years that I've been around. I mean, I lived through the polio thing where we had to go in and everybody took a little sip of this. I mean, back in the 50s. So, you don't hear polio anymore. Back in my day, growing up as a little kid, polio, the president had polio, and then, holy crap, you talk about putting vaccine and everybody getting this and that. Some are not talking about the fear, but about the fact it is in line with what the overreaching agenda of the other side is. I would agree with that. But honestly, I don't have any proof. But I mean, empirical. Well, the virus was of this and it was created. Yeah, okay. All right. They've created a lot of other stuff they ain't told us about. But my point to that, though, is yes, I think there is some absolutely mean, wicked, mean, bad, nasty crap going on. But to live in their fear, yeah, no. Are there some other folks out there trying to kill us all? You betcha. I look up at the skies and see how much stuff. I mean, they used to bombard us down here with airplanes and aerial spraying. Okay. I mean, toxic crap. People literally dying from lung diseases. It was giving me headaches. I was going into seizures. I couldn't even drive to work during cotton season down here because of the defoliant. And finally, enough people bitched about it. They changed the compounds of the defoliant. It's not as bad. It still is a defoliant. Think Agent Orange. And the last couple of seasons, they finally got rid of the old crap, and everybody's got the new defoliant. But the last two seasons have not nearly been as bad on me respiratory wise. And there are cotton fields all around me. There's one of the biggest cotton gins in South Georgia, 6 miles from here, And so, but anyway, so are they trying to kill us? Oh yeah, you betcha. Oh yeah, you betcha. And that's just one of them, But what can we do? Do we panic? No. We stay healthy. What do? We learn home remedies in case we get stuck without any kind of antibiotics or something. What do? We put our faith in higher spirits, and we keep our own spirits. And and if it does make us sick, and I've been so sick that I was at death's door and wishing that I wouldn't make it. Please don't. If I wake up in this much pain tomorrow, just take me now, okay? And wake up better and go, thank you, Jesus, and mean it. But the idea though that we have to keep ourselves together. Our I would not be here right now if because I think sometimes the only reason I'm still alive is by sheer damn will. I refuse to give up. I refuse to give in. I'm a little slow at times, but to the point though where other people is, well, I just don't know. You know, Younger folk than me now, like what? I just okay. But so um, if one believes that in the miracles of Jesus, for example, his energy was the positive energy. It was like, well, Jesus, we got all these people and we got a couple of loaves and a couple of fish, and he said, don't worry about it. But Jesus, what are we going to? No, don't worry about it. But guys, just go out and start passing stuff out, okay? Faith. Hmm. Now, okay. Same thing when they were out fishing and there was nothing going on, and he goes, toss it over here. And they were like, where'd all them fish come from? Maybe he asked them, but to the point though, the energy and so forth. So, but our faith, you know, 40 days and 40 nights. I've spent some time in hot weather and in cold, have, been so close to death with hypothermia. It is not funny. And the same thing with heat strokes. How I have made it out of some of these situations, I swear to God. I have angels watching over me, and I'm supposed to still be here because I'm seriously my bones should still be in the swamp somewhere, um, or eaten by turtles. Turtles love bones, by the way. Yeah, they and other animals too. They eat the bones for the calcium. Just thought I'd throw that in there. But anyway, who was that said that thing? There are so many levels to this virusy stuff and all this other kind of crap. Is that Oh, Cody. Hello, David. Yeah, truth in me, stay calm and carry on. Absolutely. If it takes me, it takes me. But either way, I want my spirituality to be as clean as possible. If Lord knows if it comes and takes me, I've had my chance to be out of here so many times now. But I guess I had homework I still had to do, right? Before I could go to the next class. Which I understand, but to the point though, in that, so I just keep trying to do better, and boy, a lot of goofy going in and out. Do you all see that? It's like something else is between me and the camera. Now that's just plumb weird. I see it go there. There's something that's going in front of. Wow, y'all see that? Just Roman says vodka, curcuma, and black pepper. I drunk it once. Drunk. Yeah, me too. I had a light flu. It helped out. Hard to drink. Yes, yeah, I got you there. Um, some Somo 8888. Okay. Truth in me. Can you use vodka for tinctures? Yes. The basic rule of thumb is to get the higher proof, 100 proof, 80 proof at least. All right, 80 proof's a little on the low end for what some medicinal folks would say. I mean, think about Granny Clampett. Okay, she made her tinctures and stuff out of moonshine, and I don't know. I've had some moonshine that, oh holy crap, you could set the world on fire with this stuff. It was so potent. So they'd take moonshine, they'd make moonshine, and then make their poultices and tinctures and stuff of that. And that was so lot of alcohol in them things. Let me tell you. Yeah, David Council says, truth to me, yes, if there starts to be food shortages, then people will act stupid. So I would rather have ahead of time and stay in and then go out with the stupid. Absolutely. I agree with you on that one. And here's one of the of all the things that I can, well, it's one of the many things, but in preparing, one of the biggest things you must prepare is this right here, your head, because you can't freak out regardless of what the situation is. And one big thing is that, people are like, I got to have 3 meals a day. I got to have this every day. I got to have so many gallons of water. I got to have so much of this. Poppycock. The pioneers didn't have near what we have available to us right now. And they lived, now they had short lifespans, but some of these folks could travel 20 miles a day on foot. Can you? I'm just saying. Um, but and forage and eat along the way, eat a biscuit and go the rest of the day. How many people around here can eat a piece of jerky and a biscuit and go climb a mountain and down the other side? Oh, they'd have power bars. They'd have to be hydrated. They'd have to have some kind of, my pulse rate. Oh, crap. The pioneer, Davy Crockett used to crawl over a mountain and back. Daniel Boone, the true stories of Daniel Boone, from Boone, North Carolina, and over the hill and back. I was up there, did storytelling and hung out with some of them folks up there. Them folks back in them days were hardy souls. We ain't got nothing compared to them folk. Cajuns down in the swamp, them folk know how to live. The old timers around here, they knew how to get around and get along. And, there was a big ass possum in the yard today. If I was hungry, I don't know. I'd have to be mighty hungry to eat that possum. But to the point, if I wouldn't eat a person, but I might consider that possum, because I've had possum in the old days. I didn't cook it, but to the point. Anyway, so the possum or my chicken? The possum, because my chicken lays eggs, and the possum eats them and kills my chickens. But being prepared in your head. Thank you, Truth to me. I love you too. No damn flu shots. Yeah, no, don't take a flu shot. Tell them you're allergic. That's what my doctor told me years ago. And I said, Doctor, last shot you gave me, I got sick for 2 weeks. She goes, okay, well, you want one this year? No. Well, your insurance and your thingy and a blah, blah, blah. And Social Security wants to know. And I was like, she goes, you must be allergic to it then, huh? And I go, well, I don't know. I got sick off it. She goes, you're allergic to it, right, Dave? And I said, well, what? And I went, oh, yeah. Oh, Doc, I can't have a flu shot. I'm allergic to them. Thank you. That's all she needed. But she kept going, hinting at me, this is what's wrong. Boy, this camera is going in and out and the focus thingy. Strange. There's a lot of activity going on, I tell you. Yep. Yeah, Michelle, I'm glad you're here too. Roman said if the flu takes me out, it will be very ironic. It'll suck too. Just saying, Roman. And good to see you. I don't know if I've seen you in here before, Roman. Blessings and good to see you. And oh crap. Oh, Cody. Hi, Cody. I think I missed you. And saying hi. And Sumo 888. Glad to have you in here too. Deborah says, Deborah, excuse me, Deb. Possum nearly walked past me yesterday, smelled my shoes and ran off. I almost stepped, Deb, when I went back out that second time for wood for the fire, I almost stepped on the possum in the yard going to get firewood right outside the window here. He was like, looked up and went, where'd you come from? Yeah. And big possum I'm talking about. And ugly. Oh my God, them things are just, I'm sorry. There's some critters in this world that is like, I would not snuggle up with one of them. And I come from a long line of been down here. Yeah, I've been watching some of your videos for a while, maybe a year or longer. Been watching your live stream more and more. Love you, brother. Sorry I stay silent. Cody, it's okay, man. You don't have to participate. it's nice to know that, it's like, oh, wow, there's somebody in the background. I like to give, I do like to say hi to everybody. And no, you stay silent all you want to, but it's nice to say, I'm here, when you can. And blessings to all y'all. I do mean that. Um, but yeah, the thing about of all the things that I can feel positive about, I may get sick and poorly, but there are things that I can go. Um, I got a fifth of gin over here that I haven't touched, and shame on me. I should be making tinctures. But I was out walking today, looking to see what was springing up for spring. Different things in the seasons. Different plants flower at different times, and in flowers bloom in the spring. Weeds flower in the fall and late summer and fall. And you go, what? What does that mean? There are a lot of plants that are very good for you that you're going to have to wait 6 months before you can tell by the flowers whether or not it is what it is. Because this is what the flower looks like. Yeah, but you better look for the leaf. And certain things are growing now that won't be in 3 months here. We've got the rattlesnake weed, the little white tubers, and they're quite tasty, actually, and they're growing everywhere. So if you know where there are certain things, you're not going to starve. You can also get vitamins from these things if you can't get pharmaceutical stuff from your store, regardless of what it is. Learn your area, learn what's around you, for gosh sakes. And if what, and it's not about the shit hitting the fan. It's that the other folks don't ship us nothing. Okay. If they don't ship it and we don't get it, so vitamins, certain things dry up over here because we don't make it over here anymore. We don't make everything in the United States. Like people, well, we'll just make some more. Yeah, but all the machines, all the chemicals are across an ocean or two, depending on which way you go. So, but we've got stuff here in the United States that Mother Earth provides for us if you look for it and know what to do. That's always around. We don't have to go to no dead-gum store. Don't have to worry about the pharmaceutical. We need to learn to take care of ourselves and our own environment and atmosphere. Absolutely. I live it. I'm down here in the swamp. But, if you can't do what I do, fine. But so learn about your area. If you can drive 15 minutes and get to a nice wooded spot or something, or fields or whatever, some country that's not polluted, then go looking around for some of this stuff. If you know it and nobody else does, I've had people, I go, oh, look, there's rattlesnake weed. Oh, look, there's some stuff. Oh, look, there's some plantain. Oh, look, there's a miniature orchid. Oh, look, and they go, what? Just looks like grass to me. All this other stuff was growing in the grass and around the grass and in the clumps of grass. There are a lot of stuff that grows. If you go sit in a field and, there's the big stuff, and then start looking down. There are tiny little plants that only ever get this big that live in the understory of the grass. And it helps keep everything together. And some of those little tiny plants are nuggets of food, vitamins, and all kinds. Learn. Well, there's nothing out there. Stop, look, and listen. Oh my God, you may be surprised. I always am. But I'm surprised in that I know that there is the grass, which is springing right now. And I was out there sitting on the grass putting the trailer together. And I'm looking down and was like, look at all these little tiny little plants that are under the grass. And even as cold as it's been, they're thriving because this is the time of year that they grow. And some of these, I don't know where some of these plants come up because I don't see them. But the plants or the how the seeds got here kind of thing. And I was over somewhere over here in the yard taking a walk today, and I looked down and I was like, now how the hell did that start growing there? Where did that plant come from? Where did a bird bring it in? Probably. Drop the seed, boom. Now I've got this plant growing up. I've not seen one over here before. I've seen them, just not over there. So I had to get there. So, but the thing is that Mother Earth provides in all kinds of weird and strange ways. But if you're just walking past and it just looks like grass to you, you may be missing a lot. So, I've talked a lot about, slowing down and taking a look at what's around you. And, if you, this gentleman I used to, when I was on powwows and things with before, he would take people on walks. And as part of, he was a demonstrator. And it was all about, he made a type of salve. I swear to God, I don't care what was wrong with you. It would cure it. And it was just some lard, some honey, and some medicinal plants. They literally would go down out in the field and around the area, wherever the powwow was, and take a walk. And people would pick these things, and he'd show them how to prepare them. And they'd do it on a Friday afternoon or a Saturday. They'd make this stuff, boil it up, and then come back on Sunday, and everybody got to take home their own little jar of stuff they made. And I still have a tiny little bit of this stuff left, and it's like, God, I wish I'd give $20 for another one of these little things. And I used to give it away because I could buy them for $3 or $4 a piece from this guy, because he had leftovers and extras and stuff, and I'd buy his overages after the powwows, and I'd give it away as presents when I come home from a powwow. But anyway, so I know that this stuff exists. Oh my God, if you only knew some of the simple things that would cure damn near, and you could eat this stuff, okay? That's the other side of it. If you had an ulcer, you could take a little bit of it and stir it up in some water and drink it. It would help your insides even. Unbelievable. So, my friends, I love you all. How did the Indians make it without McDonald's? They had jerky, they had deer jerky and venison and little whole cakes and stuff. One of the things that always gets me, now I know where fry bread comes from, but I think now and there's a powwow, as far as I know, at 1st of April-ish. I got to check, actually. I went to last year and didn't make it for the fall one, but it's over near Jacksonville, but it's in Georgia. And I can't remember the name of the little town right now, but I'll do another video in case anybody is in the area and can get down there. Some absolutely wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people. And it's free. You can just go, just free. Leave a donation, something like that, but it's free. The camp, stay, whatever, it's free. And where can you go for free these days? Seriously. But anyway, what was I headed with that? So with the powwows and the sharing and things, and people sharing medicinals and herbs and knowledge and, that community spirit together, when, like last year, we were putting up this one tent and teepee tent from Walmart, but some other folks had one too. And the guy was having trouble putting his up, and he goes, "Hey, I'll help you put yours up if you tell me how you can do it, how you did it by yourself." He goes, "Me and the wife, we were having trouble with this thing." And I showed him, and it was like, "Oh, holy crap, I can do this," and I had to learn it myself. I did a video, I don't know, about a year or so ago, where the damn thing cut my face, and I was doing blood and guts live on a video, like, son of a bitch hit me. Anyway, but they're really nice. The tents and really roomy, and once you learn how to set them up. But anyway, they later on came by, and it was the sharing and the knowledge and the camaraderie, and these people out of nowhere, they were like, I'd known these people for years. The one lady even looked familiar, and I was like, I know we've never met, but it just seemed like, anyway, it's a great thing, the powwow, so forth, getting together with folks, and I'm trying to back up my thoughts. Well, my friends, I love you. I do. Michelle, by the way, I do have a butt cramp. Right cheek. And yeah. Um, I love you all. I do. Thank you for hanging out. And now it's the 1st of March. They used to say back in the day that, March, in like a lion, out like a lamb. So if it was really windy or stormy and it came in really like a lion roaring, that the end of March would go out like a lamb. Well, it's a little cold and it was a little windy today, but I wouldn't necessarily say that it was like a lion. Tomorrow's supposed to be kind of calm and sunny, and so does that mean the end of March is going to be like in like a lion, out like a lamb, in like a lamb, out like a lion? We'll see. That old Groundhog Day and all that kind of stuff. My friends, thank you so much. Good to see you, Roman. David Castle. Absolutely. Oh yeah. The UFO is the same one every time I see it out there. It's just where it goes. And tonight, we both swear we saw two of them at separate times, but still two, and in the same general area of the sky too. Not airplanes. Not airplanes. I'm telling you, not airplanes. Roman, thank you, David Castle, Truth in Me, Michelle, as always. Dominic, if you're still there. Rattlesnake weed, absolutely, Dominic, if you're still there. Yes, it grows all over down here. Little white tubers, because the tubers look like rattlesnake tail kind of thing, and they do kind of sort of. Do I have Truth in Me says, do I have fiddler heads? You mean the ferns? Um, in certain places down here, yeah. Um, Oh, Truth in Me says, I have an old cookbook that has a recipe with possum and squirrel. Look, if you can skin those ugly suckers, it's like any other critter. What if you've ever cleaned a critter? Then once you clean them and once you get the skin off and do the guts thing, it's just meat on bone. A rat, it don't matter. Once you skin it, got it set off, it's just meat on a bone. A big rat looks like a squirrel, and vice versa. Just saying. So, but I've eaten squirrel, I've eaten rabbit, I've had possum and raccoon, although I didn't cook the possum or raccoon. I realized that if I was hungry enough, I could pry one of them puppies up. And possum stew, why a possum stew? Because you can put it, frying them up, the meat just shrivels up. But if you put it in a stew, the meat stays tender and it adds flavor. Make a stew instead of frying. Just saying. Cody, good to see you. You hang out in the background anytime you want. Roman, Truth in Me. I'm trying to make sure I got everybody. Sumo 888. Blessings, my friend, to all of you. Yes, ferns. Okay, I cut back down. Butt cramp o'clock. Yeah. Maybe you can sing your butt cramp song on Brian's karaoke. That would be fun. Yeah. All right, my friends, till next time. Be sweet, be kind, and as always, I end with a prayer. I continue to pray that each and every one of you will accept and receive the gifts, the healing, the wisdom, and the knowledge from the universe. I continue to pray that each and every one of you, your friends, your family, your relatives, and all of your relations, past, present, and to come, will accept and receive the healings, the knowledge, the wisdom, and the wonderful gifts from the universe that are always available to each and every one of you. And I will continue to pray that each and every one of you will continue to accept and receive the knowledge, the healing, the wisdom, and to continue to share what you learn yourselves. Thank you all. We do make a difference. Whether we change the Schumann resonance or not, we are changing the human consciousness with every smile that we bring. Thank you, Cody. Thank you. Love you all, Truth in Me. Dominic, Michelle, as always. Till next time, South Georgia, 1st of March, 2020. Can you believe it? Oh, my God. It sounds like an ABC commercial, doesn't it? But anyway, till next time, my friends. Love you all. And keep it between the ditches. Bye now.